What's up everyone, it's Jambors, new video. Long time no see, another 5 countries to talk about, and I hope I will do all of them until the next Eurovision starts in Malmö 2024, Sweden. Congratulations, but let's talk. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very glad you're here. I appreciate that you watch, even it's completely off season. I know I'm terrible in making videos. I have so much work, so much things to do. I know it's excuses. I cannot do anything about it. You cannot do anything about it. So I would be glad if you watch it till the end and write me in the comments below what you think about all those topics I will be talking about. Basically all those 5 countries I will be talking about, their results, their stagings, my general feeling about them, especially after a while watching it out of context, actually, kind of. Not in a row how it went in Eurovision, but separately, as you know, separate items, separate shows, separate things, separate music, videos, stagings, etc., however you name it. And I must say, in general, that it made a huge difference also to watch it after a long while like this. I must in general tell you that I'm not a big fan of the stage in Liverpool this year at all. First of all, it's very flat on both, you know, both dimensions, actually also 3, like a box. No elevation, the LED screen, it's very close to everything, so whoever used the bigger podium near the LED screen just didn't really reach the potential. Whoever used the circle one, much better, but still it just didn't create any atmosphere, it didn't look that exclusive. And whoever used any kind of prop, a big prop, to kill the stage flatness, kind of made a better job. Actually, it really helped any single song. However, it doesn't matter. Everybody had the same condition. Everybody had to use it in their creative way, however they could, to break it somehow or not. And maybe that's not that important. What is more important is their results, and also that this Eurovision brought very successful songs in general. So let's talk about the first one on my list, and that's Israel. So Noah Kirill, Unicorn, placed 3rd. What a crazy achievement, like absolutely crazy achievement, which kind of was expected. Kind of, I think that everyone could expect it because the song was mathematically perfect. Noah Kirill is a hell of a performer. Let's say it out loud. She's a perfect performer. Also, she can sing brilliantly, and also she looks fantastic. I think this is all, you know, all boxes check. Come on. And this was also her song, her live performance, especially in a row when it goes throughout Eurovision. What was a bit weird when I watched out of context, out of, you know, just the pure performance, I had something to say about it, because I like it, I don't like it, I like it, I don't like it. I have mixed feelings about it. First of all, singing. I think because she moved a lot on the stage, the singing wasn't absolutely perfect, but what I liked also on this singing is that it was basically absolutely live. It had this concert feeling, absolute, genuine performance in this way, which I appreciate the most, because it's not all the performances in general. It doesn't matter if Eurovision, concert, whatsoever. It doesn't need to be perfect. They must deliver something more to, not just perfect singing song like from studio version. No, this is not why you're going to concert. You go to see the performer to give you some more energy, something from themselves. And that's, I think, Noah Kirill just did perfectly. This is why I would say her staging is perfect, not because the staging itself, but because of her. She is the dominant person on the stage, you know it from the very beginning, but also it's not like drastic. You just see the performer in a raw energy, raw power, raw talent. And this is something unique, this is special, I think, especially in, let's say, Eurovision, European context. It's not so many who can deliver internationally like this, let's say, from their domestic markets, because Noah Kirill it's not that well known, for example, in the region of Central Europe. So for me, it was a huge thing to find her out, and I like her, and I cannot wait. If there's gonna be some concert like this, I'm definitely going to see her. But in general, this was it. Her performance, everything. The box idea actually was looking good, and from that point I was thinking like, okay, this looks really like some MTV awards. This is exactly it. The problem is, it's not because of this idea. I liked it, and I think that was very, very smart to start with something like this, and especially kill the stage, because when she come outside it, you see the whole flatness, and it's killing the vibe for me. I'm not saying it's a wrong thing. I think they've done something very nice, but that just doesn't work, and it's killed the tempo again, like with the editing, very slow. I don't get it. The song was in tempo, so after she came out from the box, even though there are dancers are there, you can feel like the tempo is missing. Just watch it again, watch it now, and just concentrate on this. Then when she comes to the dancing part, this is again fabulous, kind of fantastic. Even the dancing is not like, especially the solo dancing, is not nothing best I've seen. I think that everybody who tried to copy Chanel from previous year from Spain kind of failed this year in the way nothing was so good in editing, in lights. How so? I cannot tell. It's just my feeling, very subjective. Anyway, what it kind of works then when she danced with the group of dancers, that was very strong, and you can basically see from the whole part of dancing that she has 100% confidence in herself, what she do. I think the problem wasn't her dancing, wasn't her or the dancers. And again, it was the editing, it was camera angles, it was lights. I don't know why this couldn't be done a bit better, but in the whole compare of Eurovision, it looked great. I cannot say anything else, but if you just watch it out of context like this, like I did, not really the perfect thing. I think at Eurovision we've seen better. In general, for the song, absolutely fantastic, because that song just worked. It was created for Eurovision, it works in Eurovision, it works even after Eurovision. I think it's in top 10 of Eurovision songs streamed on Spotify, for example, this year. It still is. Okay, the numbers are few tens of thousands per day, but I think for artists from Israel, let's say it like this, from such country, it's absolutely great result that a lot of fans, a lot of people still care about the song itself, and I absolutely understand it, because the song just works everywhere. So the third place, it's very well deserved. Especially, and what I like about it, that juries and people were basically on the same line. So, okay, it wasn't first anywhere, but also it was very high everywhere. And in both juries and people, also this say something about the quality, because people and juries could feel it. For people, I understand it in perspective, it's a dancey track, it has its power, it's made for people, but also juries completely agreed on the performance. One of the best, no doubts, like no doubts. And that's it. If you think something else, if you have another idea, write me in the comments below. Next country. Let's continue on Poland. The song, let's be honest, I hated it kind of when I reacted on it months and months and months before Eurovision, so months and months and months ago, before this video. Anyway, I must say one thing and make it very clear from the very beginning. I think this was one of the most clever staging of Eurovision 2023. And now maybe you're like, oh, he went crazy, what's happened to Jan? Well, nothing happened. I can appreciate if somebody just done a great work, listen to the song, see the artist, and make a concept out of something which basically, in my opinion, doesn't or couldn't work. But if you just go with the just strengths of such song, if you just go with all the strengths of the artist, you listen to the song, you probably feel where it kind of belongs, and you are able to swallow all the pride and create kind of a, and I wouldn't even say parody, I really mean this was super smart staging. First of all, you have such thing and you create a concept out of it. You just take it as it is, and instead of trying to recreate it by staging to something, you know, serious, something very current, no, you say, okay, this song sounds like from 90s/early 2000s. Okay, is the song people in general will like and juries will dislike it? I think you can judge it immediately that it's going to be like this. But how to save it for people, because the competition is also very high. So how to do it that this song would work on stage, because in general this song is one of the most successful songs of Eurovision 2023 on Spotify, because it's catchy at some point. We all know this melody, it's so familiar that it works, because we were kids when we were listening to such songs. So let's get back us to those times. No trying to being something else, and I think whoever did this staging deserve golden medal and, you know, all the euros you can get. That person did something what I absolutely like on people who are doing stagings, or not stagings, like working with other people in general and their talents, that they take all their strengths, all the strengths of their product, and completely kill their weaknesses. And that's what happened in here. Fabulous work, all the 90s vibe, all the old school camera filters, old school vibes, the dance, come on, how they did the dance with the fire vibe, and then the dancing itself, camera angles and the lighting. It was even better than Israel, in my opinion, because of how in vibe, how it was placed, how it was done, how the tempo was built, and when it ended, it just worked as one concept in general. It wasn't like, let's do this, then do this, and then do that. No, it was like one spiral, one thing completely connected together. And when I was watching, I remember I was watching for the first time, I was like, okay, I expected like I will feel ashamed watching it, but after all I felt like, okay, somebody did a great job. And now after a few months of watching it again, I must say the same. Perfect job. Okay, 19th place, not the best, but come on, I didn't even believe that Poland can make it to the finals, and I think they deservedly were there. And let's be honest, everybody knows I'm not a fan of such songs, but if they are done like this, it's good for Eurovision also to have them. And also it can encourage another artist, another performers, and another songwriters, and whoever else who is in this bunch of people creating it deserve to go any single way. Everything belongs to Eurovision. It's just a matter of subjective taste. No one needs to like everything, but let's agree on this, that this performance was really, really good. Blanka was looking stunning. The staging, like, come on, the staging made it. In my opinion, the staging made it. And yeah, whoever done it, I'm talking right now to this director or our director of this act. Perfect work, perfect work. Next country. Now let's talk about Armenia, Future Lover, Brunette, one of my favorite songs this year, if not the favorite song. I loved it because it was artistic, it has the power, it has the charisma. Brunette has a phenomenal charisma as an artist. I adore her. For me, one of the biggest talents this Eurovision had, and maybe Europe had outside of, let's say, UK, which I would really, really wish that such person go outside the Armenia and just have a big career. I'm a big fan. Let's be honest, it's not a secret, and I will be very subjective about this also. First of all, the staging. I really like the idea they used the circle stage, because it was much better for everybody. They used this projection and also very good ambient light behind, and in general, one of the best lighting and editing performance from the way of the staging performance, let's say it this way. The editing was really great, very fast, unless most of the other songs, most of the other acts. This was how I believe such song can be done. In the tempo, on the phrases, lots of edits, but it just brings in the energy, it brings the atmosphere, and also the way how it worked with the light. So they helped the editing process also with this. It was absolutely fantastic. Unless, and I honestly don't know who created this idea to kill the song with the dancing solo. Like, this is for me something absolutely ununderstandable decision. whoever made it, in my opinion, a huge mistake. And I think it cost Brunette much better placing. Okay, 14, it's perfect, but she could be in top 10. She had the power, the voice, the charisma to being at least in top 10, I believe even in top 5, with the way how she can perform and how the song was written. And although all the staging was created very well, but then suddenly you have a song and then you have absolutely different song, and then you cannot go back. The dancing solo basically was weak, it didn't fit. Visually, it killed all the vibe you created just few seconds before, and also musically, it dropped somewhere where, you know, it was just hard cut, like a hard cut, let's do something else. I believe that the decision was made based on the idea like, hey, it's a bit stereotypical, monothematical, it's the same all the time, it doesn't go maybe anywhere. Let's put something, you know, dancing. But you cannot be better in this when the songs are created for this way, for it exactly the song from Israel or Poland. They were just created for this moment, so it fit. You actually expect something like this there. But in here, like, I don't know who idea it was or why it happened. Maybe even the artist felt like this. I don't know. But for me, this is the reason why it didn't reach out much better, and no one talks about it right now. And I think this is a shame. It's a shame. It's missed opportunity, in my opinion, for the sake of not trust on the product you already have. This is for me ununderstandable, this kind of fear, which I felt, that's how I read it. Maybe the decision was made absolutely differently. I don't know, I don't care. This is what I feel from it. And I remember when I was watching it in Eurovision, when I was watching it live in the bar, and I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is awesome, this is great. I love it. And I was like, what? So, and then I couldn't come back. And I don't like the performance then. Like, I cannot enjoy, like, I can enjoy just the part before, when it's actually up exactly at the moment of growing, and then bye-bye. Pity, I still enjoy the song based on its studio version on Spotify. I enjoy this staging idea. If I just count off the dancing part, it was looking brilliant. One of the best, I would say. Very good performance, very good charisma. I hope very bright future for Brunette. But this, well, 14th place, it could be better in my opinion. Anyway, it's still a perfect placing, right? Especially after previous year when it went very wrong. Also kind of with staging, also kind of with performance. But it was the most successful song of Eurovision 2022. So, as we say, the path of God is unpredictable. That's what we say. The path of Eurovision is unpredictable. The path of music is unpredictable. But what's predictable? That we're going for the next song. Remo Forer represented Switzerland, ended up 20, and I was surprised that he ended up like this, because by his voice capabilities, just the performance and singing was, let's say, very good. Like, honestly, this song at work, we are producing Romanian Love Island now. This song in our office, we all, like, every single day you can see from some corner, where do we go? We go. I don't wanna be a soldier. It's like an anthem for us. So we love it. It's the most iconic song for me from this Eurovision 2023 in the way how it stuck in my head, in my mind, and the surprise how it ended up. Let's talk about the staging, right? Because singing part, the performance, the Remo's performance, in my opinion, it was perfect. Okay, he is in this list because it was a lot of dancing in there, also with the company, also, which kind of fit this contemporary style. What didn't fit, and I don't know if I want to criticize somebody who done the idea, because in my opinion it was the good idea of using the backside of the LED with all the real lights, because it looked better. It at least gave some depth into the very flat stage, but the decision to stay right behind it kind of was wrong. Of course, I know that with so many people around, you need to have a place where to move, how to move. Also, the most cameras are watching this way, and it's maybe more comfortable for usage of editing, which still was not enough in my opinion. I don't know what happened this year with QPilot, it didn't work. Anyway, it was looking like here's the screen, and he was here. You can see like visually it looked like he is that close to the screen. Even he was maybe here. How huge it is. The perspective makes it like he's almost like here. Only when you go to the circle stage, it looks better, so it brings more depth, more power, and always a bit narrates the thing. So if I just take only visuals, perfect. If I just take only performance, perfect. But if I just take the complexity and then add the camera angles and not just colors and how it worked with colors, which was great, but it was flat and it didn't bring the right atmosphere. And I think this is the reason why people didn't vote for it that much, because if it's just done more powerful, more narrative, how to say, more deep, more depth, more atmosphere, it would work much better. Okay, it's very hard to judge also on this. I think juries kind of liked it. 20th place, in my opinion, a bit undeserved, because song-wise, performance-wise, okay, it didn't look the best way, but it didn't look awful. Definitely not. I just feel that it could look much better. So it was surprising for me, the 20th place. And if I just go for the dancing performance, I would say that it was very minimalistic from Remo, and it was okay. I think that was very nice decision to add people. I'm not a super huge fan of having contemporary dancers or dances around, it makes no sense, but in this sense, how the song flowed, also how it kind of looked on cameras, it at least helped it to create some depth of thinking and focus somewhere else. Even the most focus was on Remo, and that's still, I'm very confused why it didn't work. Maybe because of the lyrics, that it's more like anti-war in the way it can be understand that maybe like it's better not to fight because I don't want to, like, don't do this in the way like when somebody is defending himself. It's hard to judge. In my opinion, Desert Final, 20th place, that's a pity, but I must tell that I'm singing this song myself every single day for several months already. Where do we go? Next song and next country. Okay, and the last country on the list is Moldova. Soarece luna, soarece luna, da-di-da-da. Also one of my favorite songs this year. Okay, the performance has also 3 parts. First part, perfect. Second part, static. Third part, very good. I expect a bit of more energy, bit of more editing would help, because at some point it started to be static, the same, very slow by cameras. I don't get it when you have such a fast-paced song and you slow it down by camera and by editing and by lights. It's not a concert. So many songs this year looked like a concert for people in the arena, even if it's done for tens of millions and hundreds of millions outside. And then most of the songs didn't look like a concert, either like a performance for television somehow. And this was the exact example how it could work, first third of the song, how it shouldn't work, the middle part or more than a middle part, and then the rest, the last part, where it worked again kind of good. The problem is with this approach is that when you disconnect once, you will never connect back again. And this is my problem. Of course, I watch it with the eyes of a producer who thinks about it absolutely differently than probably most of the audience, most of the people, but I try to get into it, dig a bit deeper into it, and I'll analyze it and think about what could be done better, because you never know when you're gonna do it again by yourself and you want to don't do the same mistakes, or you want to do it your way, or also you never know who's watching it, and maybe somebody's like, oh, okay, this was maybe the problem, let's try it a bit differently. Who knows? But anyway, for you, to give you a completely different point of view, the fact about this performance and the song is that it worked. At some point, you can say it was very similar to Go A. It's the same genre, similar song to the tempo, rhythm and similar vibe. Done differently with some very fresh tribal ideas, very original in the way how it was performed. I like the dancing part, I didn't like the static part. It looked too much static, too much overacted. Also the editing didn't help, so if it was done a bit in more like even deeper atmosphere, like, you know, not deeper atmosphere, like darker, let's say darker atmosphere, more, even more tribal, more like with fires around, you know, more of this like I was expecting I will have a feeling like I'm in a crazy forest somewhere in the dark, and you know, all these figures will come out for some ritual or at some monastery or the old pyramid, you understand, to have some cult feeling, which partly was there because of the people on the stage and absolutely was missing all around, which in my opinion didn't work. There were so many graphical ideas but didn't work together, and that also disconnected me partly. Also, I think when it's done only on the circle stage from the beginning till the end would be also much better, because it would create more of this cultic feeling around. But what I really liked, the first edit on the guy with the flute, that was wonderful. That was wonderful, and since then the song completely got me until it came back and didn't really catch my attention after, so I was digging deeper on what's kind of wrong. Anyway, I'm very glad this song made it to the finals, especially when Romanian song didn't do it, so because they're like sister countries and I'm here, so I can feel it, how they talk about themselves very nicely. I'm glad that they had some representative in the final, and especially like this deserved, from different style of music, different approach. And also the small country like Moldova can really achieve something, and they did. And I think they finally sent something which was very, very good universally, and it wasn't cringe. It wasn't cringe at all. There is no jokes about this song to be made, which I think it's very fine. Very, very fine. This is how it should be. Please, sending artists like this is the key, in my opinion, whether genre it is, but it felt authentic, even it was a theater. Like, I really felt that the singer feels the song, which is also very important. So go by this, do this way, and you will be successful all time long, most of the time, I believe. And that's it. Summary. Okay, there were so many ideas, so many things to say, maybe so many countries which for you doesn't make sense why they were on the list, but I used the countries where there were some dancing elements and solo artists, which was very important to me, to have like man and woman. And also actually I found out that there weren't so many dancing songs this year, as I felt like, oh, everybody wants to be like Chanel solo Spain 2022. But it's not true. Only 3 countries tried it. 2 countries intentionally from the studio version already. 1 country, for some reason unknown, tried to do this also. None of those 3 were better than Slow Mo or Fuego. By far wasn't. Mostly because of the camera work and the editing and the lights. Not because of the performance of the artists themselves, because I think all of them kind of danced kind of well, let's say. Visually it wasn't done the best way and it didn't fit, so the queen or king is not dead, it's still there on the throne sitting, those 2 awesome singers from the past Eurovision years. Anyway, I really hope I brought you a completely different perspective, which you can understand or not, which you can agree with or not. Write me in the comments below if you like my evaluation, if you agree with my opinions, or if you have completely different perspective and what do you think. Please discuss in the comment below. Please tell me what you think. Don't forget to give thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and of course if you're gonna subscribe to the channel, that's good for me also, and also for you, because you won't miss any video. And as you see, I am publishing very randomly, and it won't change because my schedule is just absolutely crazy. So thank you for watching and saying goodbye from Bucharest, Romania.